Tom and Ollie's Big Kids Club. Tom and Ollie's Big Kids Club. Tom and Ollie's Big Kids Club. Tom and Ollie's Big Kids Club.
Hello and welcome back to Tom and Ollie's Big Kids Club, and we are
old enough to know better.
Yeah, I'm Ollie. This is Tom.
I'm Tom. This is Max.
Hi Max. And today we're just going to talk about some of our favourite toys as a kids.
Yeah. So
before we get into like toys that we loved as a kids, there's two toys I just want to bring out. They're a bit more recent that I just want to
go on, get them out then.
So, oh shit, they're in the other room.
Ollie will just be 2 seconds. I'll speed this up. And we're back.
So, just want to show two figures that are bit newer, but they just mean something to me, so I just wanted to put them out there.
No, do it, man.
Right,
let's
so
have a look at
first
these.
of all is this one. So this is Christian Bale.
Who's that?
Batman, the greatest character in the history of the world.
Him again.
And this is the Square Enix Play Arts. I think it's Play Arts Square Enix. Anyways, Square Enix who
Do you want
made
to have a
video
little
games.
look?
Yeah, and they kind of do these stylized versions of the Batman Dark Knight figures, and you can get Catwoman and Bane, which I do want to get those, and the Joker as well. But my wife bought me this one. It just means a lot to me that she'd buy me a figure, do you know what I mean? He's quite a detailed, expensive figure, and
Oh man, that's lovely.
and I enjoy him. He collects dust though, like a motherfucker, but he looks
man,
badass
don't
on my
they all?
shelf. And then this one is, this brings back memories of going to my nan's as a kid, and there was never any merchandise for this growing up.
Oh, amazing.
Because of a deal between Fox and Warner Brothers. Oh shit, his head's falling off.
Don't lose your head.
But again, another Batman. But this is he is my Batman.
But this was...
But this is my favourite Batman. It's weird.
Favourite?
I think Adam West is my favourite.
You shake a pretty mean cake, Batman.
It's nothing.
Just because he's the one that I grew up watching as a kid.
Oh, I remember watching it as a kid.
So I'd go back to my nan, because I used to go to my nan's like every day after school.
Yeah.
And I think on BBC Two, he's got his flipping lollipop stick out.
You don't want to see what we're looking at right now, guys. Back to Batman.
It's back to Batman. Yeah, I used to love watching the old Batman Adam West 66 show. Like,
It's incredible, like the sound effects do it for me.
so Hot Toys are quite expensive figures. Now he wasn't too much, but he's still out of the price range that I'd normally pay for a
Ballpark
figure.
over 100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he means a lot to me because he's my favourite Batman. And I'd just done a video for The Prodigy, so I thought, do you know what? I want to get something I really want.
Yeah.
And so this was my biggest purchase.
Let's have a little look at him.
But so he's a Hot Toy, so
Be careful.
they're very articulated, and
God, he looks incredible.
he's even got
all the details
you
on
press
the
his
face.
paunch on his stomach, it's a bit soft.
Oh my god. Yeah, he's got the Batman belly. That is beautiful.
And he comes with different faces. He even comes with the bomb, so you can run around holding the bomb. And you can get the Robin. I wouldn't mind one day maybe potentially getting the Robin as
I think
well.
you're okay with Batman for now, though.
I think so.
Yeah.
You don't actually get Robin.
No, not yet.
He can just stand there on his little plinth.
I'll
So
tell
go
you
on
what,
then.
we'll put those two together.
So let's look at some of the toys we grew up like.
Yeah, let's look at basically when I was looking, because we were going to compile a list, we're going to do a top 10, but I think it's better if we just have a chat about it.
Memories.
Memories. So I have got a little list here. So I'm going to start off with, these are not necessarily things I collect now, but when I was a child, I loved. So, this guy here. Beetlejuice. And somewhere, I've got Beetlejuice, but these are all my original figures from when I was a kid. So there's bits missing.
Oh yeah. So there's a Batman thing.
There's a Batman thing in there.
So if I remember, this had like a trick in it, so you could put him in it,
That's right,
and then you open it up and he's not in it, and then he's in it.
Check out my great new house, the Vanishing Doll. Scary.
Each sold separately.
Just lie down inside and say, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Even smell, I'm scary. Boom.
And
Something like
that amused me for hours. But it's going back to what I loved about this was the details.
Oh yeah,
Like
they were just crudely painted, weren't they?
Crudely
It looks like
painted.
I think it's probably painted like they did the
Castle
Grayskull,
Grayskull,
just a bit
yeah.
of spray paper.
So, it's a different one
I mean,
every
it
time.
looks like it, doesn't it? or a bit of like an airbrush or something.
But there's just something like I love Toxic Avengers. You love Toxic Avengers. Like it's this weird stuff, man. Like Beatles, bones, blood.
There's
guts.
no cardboard boxes in there, though.
No.
I made my after I saw Beetlejuice for the first time. And it was on telly, like in '91. I had a figure. It was the one where you could shove like skewers into him, so he looked a bit like in the bit where he goes to the whorehouse and he's got like the spikes in him.
I love that, man.
And, hey, Adam!
I mean, I know I'd seen this film when it came out around that. I mean, when did it come out?
It's like '88. So we would have been really young.
I would have been really young, but I know I saw it before I got the figures. So when did the figures come out?
Because it probably came out around... The figures maybe came around when the cartoon came out. It's showtime!
So that's why I've got the figures then. I do remember the cartoon.
Because I think in America it was a PG-13, so, it's quite meant for kids, but it's quite dark.
Yeah.
I almost picked it for one of our horror films,
We should have.
I actually made my own Beetlejuice grave.
Yeah. Then how did you make that? Just out of
cardboard and stuff.
Yeah.
I remember my mum
just a shoebox.
My mum was in hospital for a little while, and I remember making that. Do just as those memories you have? I remember making my own with like a big sign that said Beetlejuice or Beetlegeist.
Beetlegeist. Yeah, because on there it is. Oh no, it says Beetlejuice on here, so it should say Beetlegeist. But yeah, so that was like. I love this toy.
I did like the fact that the toys, even mine, when you can pull his head off and he's got the little head underneath.
Yeah, man, because you remember she's flicking the ash on top of his head in the film. What was I going to say? There was another one that I think I had, and do you remember he looked like a Bertie Bassett, and he was black and white stripes.
He was almost like the one in the film when he's like the fairground.
He's exactly that, and he's got like I think it's bats hanging off his ears, and I love that one. But I'd love to look.
He's like the class. He's like at the end of the film when he's like about to get married, isn't it?
That's it. Yeah. I mean, I'd like to start collecting these.
Well, we saw them at the toy.
Yeah.
How much were they for the box?
They're quite expensive, I think.
Yeah.
But like, if you're not going for box, then I probably wouldn't, and you want to just go for the shelf. I mean, this has got wear and tear, but yeah, memories.
Well, because when we came in, we were going to do it, as we said, a top 10. So I only bought like what would be my top 10 favourite individual toys.
Yeah.
But if we're going to talk about collections, I may as well. I mean, everybody who knows me knows that I'm a pretty obsessed with
Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I hate Ghostbusters.
Suck in the guts, guys. We're the Ghostbusters.
So, it was Ecto 1 in all its glory. This was actually an Ecto 1A that I bought from a comic
it
con
is
recently.
gorgeous, that
and
is,
I cleaned him up. Apparently not that well, because I looked him in the daylight today. I was like, oof, missed a few spots there. But I would have bought all the other figures as well if we were going to do like...
Yeah, but I mean...
But I remember, this isn't my original one as a kid. My original one became... I painted it up to look like the Jurassic Park car, and I boxed all this off and stuff like that.
Gutted.
Because again, like when you were kids, we didn't have that much money growing up.
Man, I'm looking.
So you just have to use what you've got and kind of.
Yeah.
So I remember sticking like all white stickers over it and colouring in with felt tip pen all green and stuff like that, and sticking the Jurassic Park logo that was cut out of magazines or whatever on it. And I don't know what happened to it. It's obviously got thrown away. So, but I remember that birthday when I first got. And I remember setting it up in my bedroom, ready for when I got home from school, and it was ready for me to play in like a Ghostbusters scenario. And like again, like remember the party wagon had a wicked box art?
Yes.
That had wicked box art as well, with all the Ghostbusters like hanging out, like shooting ghosts and.
Yeah, I remember the artwork quite.
And then again, this is one of my favourites purely for the fact that I remember, like as I said, I was a sickly kid at school and I had really bad asthma. And one day my mum met me she picked me up in reception, so that's like when you're like 4 or 5.
Yeah, it's just, it's school, but it's
just after nursery. Yeah. And we went for a picnic in the park for lunchtime.
Yeah.
And she pulled this out of her bag.
Amazing.
And I just for that, I just love this figure. Just like little moments like that.
Man, if you can remember it.
I still remember sitting in that park and having lunch with my mum, and she brings that out.
Oh, bless me.
And I remember sitting at school holding it just like all day. They're like the dirtiest figures, like they catch dirt.
I was going to say, you haven't got much of a chance when you've got grotty kid hands.
No, it looked like you can tell that some highlighters somehow got on there.
It's mad, isn't it? So I'm going to go for my next one, which has a special place in my heart, and it was like a kid's playground game more than a toy. It's not a figure, it's not a character.
Would these be something that was probably banned from every school?
Yeah, banned from every school, and I've like gone through my toy box I had as a kid because my mum kept all my stuff. It's all trashed, so everything I'm bringing out today, it's not going to necessarily be collector type stuff. It's more memories. So yeah, these might be.
Let's move them out of the way so you can see
Let's
them
have
all.
a little look. So my Pogs. I mean, there's a Keeney.
Ah,
There you go.
is that a proper Pog? Well, that is a Pog one as well.
That is a Pog one.
Did Kellogg's do Pogs?
I don't know.
Apparently, it started off as like a Jamaican. I think it was Jamaica or something. It was through bottle caps,
That's it, yeah.
something like that.
So that's.
But they were like a really quick fad. But they were kind of like, you know, like how loom bands or whatever became popular recently, the little elastic bands that kids were going nuts about.
Yes.
And now slime and stuff. It's kind of like one of those, but in the mid-90s, wasn't it?
It was, man. It was like a short phase, but like I remember we used to go to oh god, it's not. I think it was Super Shopper in King's Heath. It burnt down, and they'd have these shops, and they were dedicated to Pogs, man.
They would, because people just latch on to whatever the craze is at the time, just kind of make as much money as they can.
And then obviously, like a lot of them, like you can see here. So you had Tazos, which came free with Walker's Crisps, was it? Yeah, Walker's Crisps.
I used to remember opening that bag.
Oh, and if you got a
just
Keeney, man, wow, it's amazing. But yeah, there's.
There was this other brand that weren't Pogs, but they're a bit cheaper, but they're still good. And they're called Slammer Whammers.
Slammer Whammers. There's some in here. I'm sure there is. Let's have a look.
And then, you know, you were talking about those dedicated shops. There was some that had these like slammers that were like coffin shaped, and they were like metal. You could like brick someone to death with it.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. I had one of them. And you had like a hologram. But before we have a game, so because we didn't have much money, I used to do this.
Make your own.
So I'd make my own. So there's one with a crab on.
Grab a.
Let's have a go. So we got a
Hey, there's a
pile
Luke
of
Skywalker, a Tazo there.
them. Oh, nice.
So you just slam them down. Well, I never liked.
It was like that, wasn't it?
Was it like that? I never liked to play swaps with them. So you know, like the idea was that whichever one you won, you kept.
It was.
I always wanted to keep the ones that were mine anyway. So I never used to. I always thought it was like this, like that.
I think you could do what you like, couldn't you?
Well, as long as you're throwing them.
But the idea was that you flip them upside down.
I haven't
And
got
you
anyone.
kept
I wish
them.
I still had them. Do you know what they should have done? They should have done like garbage pail kids.
I
do
think,
you know what I mean? Like,
you know the Slammer Whammers you were on about? They had more of a garbage kids aesthetic. I mean, those are the official ones.
they did, didn't they?
Like these guys. But yeah, I love them. And I mean, if you look at the artwork again, it was another case of just that really goofy, silly artwork. And
He was like a caveman, wasn't he? If I remember.
yeah,
right.
it's like a caveman. I don't know what you describe him as. But yeah, 1995 that one's from.
Nice.
So yeah,
I think they have recently tried to bring them back.
it's
And as an app game though, do you know what I mean?
Fuck's
It's like,
sake.
no, the whole point is that they're physical things that you have.
But I know I've got tons more of these.
People got them nicked out of their school bags at school.
I mean, look at-
because you know you have a cloakroom at school where you hang your bag up,
Yeah.
and people could just go into your bag
Yeah.
if they went to the toilet. So there was everyone knew who had what Pogs, so they just went missing.
But I just love playing them. I love the artwork on them. And obviously, like, I used to go to the boot sales as well. And you get ones like this that, like, Pikey Pete and his mate had printed up. And, like, I've got shitloads of those still.
So yeah, Pogs.
So Pogs, yeah.
So I think this would be definitely one of the ones that we all loved as a kid in the 80s.
And I nearly bought one of these the other day. I've still
got Master of the Universe.
Who's the big guy with the muscles?
He's He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe. Skeletor is his enemy.
So,
Oh.
as a kid, I never had many. I had He-Man, and I had Hodak. You know, the guy who's got like he's like the leader of the Horde.
Well, I know who am I thinking of then?
And he's got like a white face and like a grey body and like a black kind of like collar thing.
Yeah.
And then I had one of the Snake Men. I think he was like Rattle or something. His neck popped out.
Yeah.
Then he like rattled a bit.
I mean, how cool do these figures look? And I know we've just had like the documentary come out on them.
Well, we got the Toys That Made Us one, and then The Power of Grayskull, was it?
Yeah, which is...
Which I haven't watched 3 times.
No, I've watched 4. No, 3, 4. And do you know what's funny? My wife, Natalie, loves watching it. She just loves documentaries, though. So she'll put that on and I'm quite happy and watch it over and over again.
It's nice to watch people be passionate about something. That's what I like.
Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it, man? But these two, I'm going to rebuy them. I know I've got one upstairs, but his head's missing. And I've got the sword, so I could probably sell that on eBay for 15 quid.
Well, I mean, you see this thing here?
Yeah.
Just that. So I bought this from Entertainment.
His penis.
His little skirt thing. That cost me 12 quid, just that.
What?
Which I probably could have bought him complete. I thought he was complete, but me being a numpty didn't realise that.
Oh, I've done that.
So every time I saw pictures, like, I haven't got that. So, but now he's complete. But this is a Taiwan He-Man, so there's different like versions. So you can get French ones, Brazilian ones and stuff. But the Taiwan are the ones that we had in the UK and America. And you could tell because apparently like the red in his eyes, like only the Taiwan had the red in his eyes and stuff like that. So you can tell like,
yeah,
so there's
little
like
things.
So the collectors of He-Man, they'll have like 5 different Skeletors, but they're all from like different
Taiwan, Brazil, blah, blah.
regions, and you know they'll have different colour schemes. So King Hiss might be a different colour green.
Fight him.
See this
Yeah.
so he still works. Oh no, he doesn't. He works.
Well, I'm going to knock you out, mate.
Hang on, let me stand him up. Oh no, he's bounced.
The sea's bounced from. Yes, mate. He-Man every time.
So I got him from a not Comic Con. We went to a toy fair the other week.
I'll put some footage in here. It was really good fun, actually.
I picked him up, and I wish I bought more, but you. So when we next go, I'm gonna go to town.
Yeah, man.
Caroline won't be happy.
I think next time it's like we save up.
Yeah, and
we do it properly.
We just went for a few hours.
There was the box Ghostbusters
Firehouse and stuff.
and like
the actual figures.
no, the figures.
£1,000 for the 4, and I think
it's
they had the
wasn't it
4.
more than that.
It was a bit more, and they had the 4 Turtles boxed and graded, £200 each.
Yeah, but like, they were graded, weren't they?
Oh, and the Ghostbusters were.
And the Ghostbusters, yeah. So I'm not into your graded stuff.
No,
If
as long as it
good,
looks good, then I'm happy.
Yeah.
I mean, his waist doesn't work, but he looks fine on my shelf, so whatever.
It's Skeletor.
Yeah.
Skeletor. So yeah,
I had 2 or 3 of him as a kid, but as with every person knows, the legs go, and it's quite amazing. These ones are his are a bit loosey goosey, but his are in good condition. But
I mean, I tell you what.
I mean, now they've got like YouTube channels dedicated to how to fix your
It's nuts,
massive
isn't it, man?
figures.
But everyone's getting to that point, aren't they? I think us as like collectors and people who are into it. It's mad, isn't it, seeing how there are so many other people into this sort of stuff. Like, even if you're an observer, a casual observer, and grew up in that era, it's nice to look at. I mean, when we went to that toy fair, there was the He-Man that was also set in space.
Oh, the series afterwards.
The series after that never did very well, but I had all the toys.
I bet you they're quite collectible now.
I'd like to start collecting them because I remember it really well, and I've got fond memories of that. But yeah, in one of the other podcasts, I mentioned that my mum, it was my birthday, and I lost the sword, and she found it in the bin, and I had to go all through the bin juice.
Good old mums.
Good old mums.
Is that in Wimpy or something? Was it?
Probably. No, that was just at home, I think.
Fair enough.
We're having a nice home one. Should we go for another one?
Yeah, go on.
Go for Brave Star?
Yeah. Those toys were huge, weren't they?
They're massive, aren't they?
I have a confession about He-Man.
Yeah.
So, do you remember like you'd have show and tell at school or whatever?
Yeah.
And a kid bought in a He-Man figure. I mean, not He-Man.
A Brave Star figure.
And it was the green guy, and he was like, I think he was like the bar owner, he had orange hair.
Yes.
And he brought him in. And I remember during like the lunch break or whatever, he was on the side and I picked him up to like play with him.
Yeah.
And I dropped him. And his leg came off.
Who was this boy?
I've forgotten it. It may have been James Coots or someone like that at school. And I never admitted to it.
I
just
wouldn't
ran
have admitted
away.
to it. No, just run away, man.
Man, he said, look at the size. That is huge.
That is mental, isn't it? But yeah, I love my Brave Star figure. I love the cartoon.
It was quite again like He-Man, because like He-Man had an episode where Skeletor made him believe that he killed someone, and He-Man went all emo.
Yes.
There was an episode of this where there was a kid who died from drug overdose.
What's that?
Yeah, so they had like proper like little dark stories, like basically to stop kids from
Stay off crack. But yeah, I love my Brave Star. He was the only one I had out of all of them.
I never had any of them.
No.
His horse was cool
The horse was
because
rad.
he was like, couldn't he talk and stuff?
I think so, yeah.
But also like he's quite a cool character because not only is he Native American,
Well, that's
he's also a cowboy. So he's like the mixture of two worlds.
Yeah, man, combined.
Yeah.
But as you can see on the figure, like I've said on the other podcast, and I don't think anyone believes me, I had a thing for chewing things. So if you look here,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I've chewed his thing off.
Those you're like a rabbit. You've got to keep those teeth sized.
I literally am a fucking rabbit, yeah. But yeah, so I'll throw my Brave Star in there. And what are you going to go for next, Dol?
All right, I'm gonna go for. Okay, this was a very small line, but I remember my mum buying me.
Oh man,
So back in '89,
I've got one of those.
it may have been
upstairs.
1990, but when Batman '89 came out and the figures
Yeah.
came out, the film came out a bit later in the UK, I think, as
it
it
did.
tended to do.
Yeah,
As I've said before, we had a dodgy VHS copy,
nice.
which my dad taped Cat's Eyes at the end of it. Have you ever seen Cat's Eyes?
That rings a bell.
Stephen King film where it's like an anthology film where it follows these cats that do crazy things. And
Yeah.
the last one has got Drew Barrymore who's being attacked by a troll that lives in a hole in a wall, and the cat protects her. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But I remember my mum bought me this because we went to see this play and it was really like I was like 5 or something,
Yeah.
and the play was really boring. I probably would have liked it now, but I remember it was a World War II play.
Mm.
So I remember it having the air raid sounds and stuff like that, and I was really bored and I was getting a bit, as a kid, like, I just want to go home
Just
now.
want to go now.
And my mum was like, okay, if you're good, I'll buy you that Batman toy that you wanted.
Oh,
So after that,
bribery always works.
I was like a stone. I don't think I moved. And so this is the Batman figure that my mum.
Can I have a little look at him?
Yeah, the cool thing was he had like a little feature that.
Oh
That
my
pulled
god,
out.
that brought back memories as
And
you
you
did
pull, you've got like a little hook in the
that. The Batarang.
batarang that this goes in anyway. And then the whole idea is that he goes up.
Yeah, because in the film he grabs it, doesn't he?
Yeah, not with his belt though. And then I got this one later on as a present later on.
Sick.
Joker. There was only 3 actual figures in that line.
Wasn't there a lot of repaints?
There was Batman, the Joker, and Bob the Goon. That was
Right,
it.
okay.
But I think there was 2 different head sculpts for the Joker,
Yeah.
and there's 3 different head sculpts for Batman.
Oh, you can see you've played with him.
Oh man, yeah, he got bashed around. I think I even repainted.
See, this is what I mean. Like, I was gonna try and pull out all my like pristine ones.
Yeah, your modern stuff.
But man, like, there's something about
when they've
playing with
got
toy.
felt tip on them and stuff like that. they've been
Oh,
playing with
I
it.
sort of remember it as well, where I was like, yeah, I remember what I was doing there.
Yeah.
It made sense.
But the vehicles are wicked as well. You get Batmobile, but weirdly it didn't have a top.
Yeah.
But it had the missiles that popped up,
Oh yeah.
and it had like a compartment that could open up at the boot at the back.
Did you ever have one?
No, I didn't.
No. So
And
this
then
is
you push
it.
it on
I
and it
always
clicks
had the
out.
figures, never had
Yeah.
like the.
The only vehicles I had was Ecto 1,
Yeah.
the Turtle. I
And
may have
the
had like
party
the little
wagon.
ones, like the
Skating that.
But I tell you what was wicked was the Batwing.
Yes.
It was huge and it had like the suckers on it, and my friend Sean Howell had both of them, and I remember just playing, like recreating that scene, where he shoots this big gun.
Yeah, man.
This one was cool because you put like a squeezy tub in the back of it, and water could squeeze out of his.
Yeah, man.
But this is when Toy Biz got the line, I think, off Kenner, I think.
Yeah.
And then after that, Toy Biz started to produce other figures. So there was like a He-Man. There was a He-Man. There was a Superman where you could put a kryptonite ring next to him,
I remember.
and he had
that.
like a reverse magnet in it. So when you went like that close to him, he'd fall over. There was a flash where you could wind up his arms and he'd go.
Man, some of the stuff they did was genius.
Yeah,
wasn't
some
it?
great
like,
stuff.
Really
And
ingenious stuff.
And I tell you what, I love the card art on these. They were like
Was it
gold.
just- I thought it was black.
No, they were gold, and it had like a big Batman coming forward, like punching or throwing his batarang, but his hands massive as he's like reaching out. Just some of those old artwork's amazing. So I'm gonna say though, these Batman figures. After this, Kenner got it back again, and then I think the figures they released afterwards started to look like Jack Nicholson and Keaton and stuff.
Yeah.
But then they started to go really crazy with the suits. So they have like gold Batman suit.
Yeah, I've got him upstairs as well.
And he like had a backpack with wings popped out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like, as a kid they're okay, but
you look back.
For me, I just
the classic.
like what they look like. Like you could get Battle Armor He-Man.
He-Man.
Beastman's so mad for battle armor, He-Man.
You could get. There's one where you put the caps in his back and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I never had any of those. I just wanted
Just the standard. This is how he looks.
It's like when you were saying a minute ago, like you didn't have any vehicles. I never got any of the play sets either.
No.
So like my one friend had the Ghostbusters
Firehouse.
I had my sister's hand-me-down Cindy house.
Yeah, but fuck
which was about this big. A room would be that big, so my Ghostbusters toy was like that big. But at least my Ecto fit in it. So
there you go. Right, if I'm going to go on to my next one. Okay, so what's that from?
I'm guessing this is were these Terminator figures where you could put skin on them?
That was it.
Oh,
Yeah, man.
do you remember the advert, the original trailer for that?
Dude, I'm going to put that on about here.
Now create your own Terminator with the BioFlesh Regenerator.
I'm back. Yeah? Think again. Battle damage.
Add flesh compound.
Terminator created.
Terminator.
I'm back.
That trailer. I wish films did that now, where it was a trailer for it didn't have footage from the film, but it got you fucking hyped up for it.
I was so excited.
If you haven't seen it, basically the trailer is it's the Terminators being made on a production line, and you see the skin putting on them, and then it's Arnie at the end stepping off.
I'll be back.
Like, if you look at how you do it, you basically push a big plunger after mixing.
Oh, like, for the toy one.
For the toy, yeah. For the skin. And you push it down and it fills like this compartment, and you make yourself a Terminator that you can then rip apart.
Could you reuse the latex again?
No.
So
this is I was going to get to this. So you got 2 pots of it. I think that made about 3 maybe Terminators, and then there were meant to be pots.
But you couldn't get them.
You couldn't get them for shit. So I've stuck with him on it.
I've got loads of latex at home. We can get it all out. And
I haven't got the full toy. I might buy it again. But
Rob Kenyon had this. He had all the
I've got loads.
He had the massive Arnie, which had like the sounds on it and stuff.
So on my list here, because I've got it upstairs, that's the wrong list. So my Terminator, talking Terminator.
Did he have a big Gatling gun or something?
He had a massive Gatling gun, like a black Gatling gun. Like, we'll obviously put a picture up.
He's traveled across time and space. Finally, he's here. The ultimate Terminator. He looks mean. He sounds mean.
So he's got a speaker in his chest here. So he does like all the famous catchphrases, such as like,
I'll be back.
I'll be back, hasta la vista. So me as a child, I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm just going to keep pressing this button. It's Christmas dinner with my family. I think it was my Uncle Tony was around, and I basically had it. I had a threat that it was going to be inserted up my arse.
No, not up the arse.
If I can't do it anymore, so I had to have it. They hid it on Christmas Day, but they let me play with it afterwards.
They kept putting him in like a purple T-shirt in those toys.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Because there was this one that my friend wrote on as well, where you could change his arms to different arms. So there's one with a big claw on it.
I've got one of those.
There's one with a big missile thing.
Yeah.
The only
and
one
you had a one where the front came off as well, and it was like half.
He wore these weird like
shoulder pads. Yeah.
I had a fig. I think the only Terminator figure I had was the exoskeleton.
Yeah.
What's it called? Is it
Exoskeleton, yeah.
I had that. But then I had a Homer figure that I took the head off this Homer and stuck it on and spray painted it all silver. Because I had a bike as well.
Yes.
Where the front popped open and a thing could fire out. I'm sure I had another Terminator.
I mean, talking about
I had a villain that had this spinning claw hand as well.
I mean, this isn't in my top, or like we're not talking top. But this guy, he's got a coat as well. But I don't know if you remember him from Last Action Hero.
Yeah, Jack Slater.
I
had one that could throw grenades.
Look at those boots. They've spent more time sculpting the boots.
What's this? Is this like a swing action?
So, what would happen over the years? I have lost the coat he used to wear. So he'd have like a dirty old man Rain Mac on. And then like he'd have 2 guns here. And if you pressed his back or something,
You squeeze his legs. There you go.
Yeah, that's it. You squeeze the legs. But yeah. So
I love that film, you know.
I think it's amazing.
I think
the premise of it's great.
I just wish by the end, because you know his plan is, I'm going to take people out of other films, like villains and stuff.
Oh, do you wish they had?
I wish they did more of that.
So who?
If
did
they
they
did that
have?
now, so say if The Rock was in it.
Right, okay.
Which, blatantly, it would be The Rock.
It would be The Rock.
Because he's doing Big Trouble in Little China now, apparently.
What?
I wish that more villains came out of the cinema screen, because if I remember, it's only like Death from the Seventh Seal that comes out. But
I mean, I love in that film as well, where he looks at, I think it's a poster of the Terminator.
Does he?
And it's
Sylvester
Stallone.
But they do that joke in, I think, in Demolition Man. I think Arnie's referencing that as being the president or something, because they call him President Schwarzenegger or something.
Ah, yes, they do, don't they? Yeah, so they must have done a trade-off on that one. Yeah, so I'd love to. I can't remember the name of it. The cryo chamber or the skin factory. I don't know. But yeah, absolutely love that.
Yeah, I remember having fun with that. For me, this is a sentimental one. So this was probably this is the age where you're a bit too old for toys. I was about 14 or something when the X-Files movie came out.
Yeah.
But the X-Files is like my favourite TV series. I absolutely love it. And I know on the last one, which I don't know if it's come out yet or not, but anyway, I speak about that my last Christmas present from my nan was a PlayStation. But my last ever birthday present, which came like about 2 days after she passed away, were these X-Files figures.
Oh, bless, man.
So these have got real sentimental. They're McFarlane figures, and they're early McFarlane, so the emotion is limited.
Still though, dude, they're amazing.
But yeah, so I've got Mulder and Scully. There they are.
Is that another set of Mulder and Scully?
There were other figures, so you could get Caveman, and there was an alien and stuff like that. I've got them as well.
Sick, man.
Oh.
They're lovely though, aren't they? And I mean, you love the X-Files, so do I. Get back up there.
Stand. The thing is, he hasn't got legs that you can actually move. They just either stand up.
Oh, is that what it is?
It's that was the problem with a lot of early McFarlane figures, that they were pre-posed.
Yeah. There you go.
And they were essentially statues.
He just needs a Tazo to sit on. Here we go.
The ribbon.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
It's going to get worse.
What the fuck has happened to my house? I cleaned this yesterday.
It's alright.
We'll clean it again.
Jesus, Ollie.
I mean, anything with Arnie. I was obsessed with Arnie, like Predator.
Batman and Robin.
I mean, I've got some of the Predator toys down here as well. Like, I had loads of these.
It's weird that got a toy line and Alien, which you may as well get.
It's nuts. I might as well just throw them in as well. So, like, I've got tons of these.
Do you reckon these were made because they were going to make the cartoon?
Yes, well, there was going to be a cartoon. There's actually a trailer online.
Is there a trailer?
There's a trailer somewhere.
I thought it was just images. Shit.
Oh, is it images? No, it's images, isn't it? So you got him. I've got like...
I like this guy. If you lift his head up, doesn't it like...
Yeah, the spikes come out, so it's like...
Nice. I had the one that looked like a gorilla.
Yeah, I've got that one as well. I mean, I've got boxes of stuff upstairs, and this is all I can get to.
On top of it, look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, did you have Ripley to go in there?
I had Ripley. Ripley actually looked really good.
Were the arms supposed to be that?
Is this the one? That's not the gorilla. That's the bull alien.
Oh, his head popped out.
Oh, fuck.
Were these arms supposed to be like this floppy or?
I don't think so. I think that's just over time they've got like that, man.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I love my Alien, Predator. I liked anything a bit weird. Got any more down here? No, I think that's it. Yeah, so have you got a next one for us?
What's my next one? I'm going to go for Transformers.
Oh, nice.
So again, I always think I never had many Transformers growing up. But anytime I go to like Entertainment World, all these cons, I'm like, I had that one.
I had that.
But I always tend to have the smaller ones.
Yeah.
But I had the biggest one, the best one, and that was Optimus Prime. And this was a present that I think I got for my 4th birthday. Not this one, because Oliver Westbrook stole that, you fucker. This was bought with my... Ooh.
He's gone.
This was bought with my first student loan.
Oh man.
But my mum and dad searched everywhere for this, and I think like a distant family relative found it that I don't think I've ever spoken to or seen once in my life, and she found it. Because like in the 80s this was hard to get, but Optimus Prime was the shit.
He was the shit, and I think I told you I had the Power Master Optimus.
Oh yeah.
I never had the original Optimus, but I bought the bootleg that we looked at on one of the other podcasts.
It's just the same.
It's exactly the same, to be fair, and half the price. But if I was going to say my favourite out of them, or the one with most memories, it would be the Power Master, because obviously I played with him.
So he got Grim. Is it Grimlock?
I've got Grimlock there. I think he's Grimlock. I don't remember this one being in the cartoons, but I've got like a two-headed Dinobot there that I found. That was mine.
Oh, nice.
What else have we got down here? Like, speaking about like Transformers, I don't know if you remember these guys, but I had all of these.
The Rock Lords. Weren't they made by the ones who did GoBots?
I'm not sure. I think they might have been.
GoBots, Battle of the Rock Lords.
Now we have them. There'll be no miraculous escape this time.
Basically, like the premise is they're the same as Transformers, but instead of transforming into amazing vehicles,
they turn to rocks.
They turn to rocks. But my dad used to buy me one of these because he was a HGV driver, I think I've mentioned before.
Yeah, and taking stuff off the back of lorries.
Yeah. Well, they used to sell these in the like the garages that he used to go to fill up his van.
Oh,
his lorry, sorry.
It's fair enough.
And yeah, I'd get one of these every time we'd go and fill up. And he can't stand up anymore. We've got the red one here. I think this was my favourite. If he comes.
See, I found photos of me as a kid with these like toys, and I didn't know what they were. And then when we went to the toy con, I was like, "Flipping Rock Lord!" That's what it was. It may have been that one. It was definitely red. I think no, he looked like a jewel one, like a ruby or something.
I've got a horrible feeling I'm gonna break him if he. Oh no, there we go. And look, he even has teeth.
Nice.
Yeah.
You got loads of them down there.
Yeah, I've got another one there. We'll leave him as a rock. So that's what they transform into. And there's another Transformer there. I've got his Rodimus.
Has he got? Oh, he has got arms.
And he has got arms.
So is this what the original one looked like?
I think he's like the second generation.
Oh yeah, because they were more die-cast, weren't they?
Yeah.
I think
I've got one of the original.
Afterwards.
Somewhere I had one of the original die-cast ones, but I don't think I brought it down the stairs. And I don't know if you remember these guys as well.
Yeah, like a shitty version of the Transformer one inside them.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of them, but had those. But yeah, Transformers were a massive thing for me. I mean, I loved robots. It's all I used to draw as well. Like
probably because when we were kids, they're easy because they're just squares. Like you just build up loads of squares.
Yeah, so you do like I remember drawing the front of Optimus, and you do 2 squares. For his nipples, and then you do the rest.
Have you seen the Japanese version of the Power Master Optimus?
No.
So you know, like the front, it's just like stickers.
1 second, sorry.
Someone's dying. Ah! It's his birthday and he's dying. Have you seen the Japanese Power Master?
No, I haven't.
So you know the back where, because it was weird. Like the front, normally that's the front of Optimus. On the Power Master, it was the back.
What?
Because the way he transformed was you put this engine into him, doesn't it? It pushes him.
The little. He turns into a robot.
Yeah, he pushes him into it, and then it turns his chest round and stuff.
Optimus, Power Master Optimus Prime, greatest leader of his time.
It's great to be back.
Now, Optimus Prime is back as a Power Master. He only transforms when his Nebulon becomes his engine.
Power Master Optimus Prime. Look, Optimus is transforming into a super robot. Power Master Transformers. They've got the power to surprise.
Yeah.
So the front of Optimus was always his chest, but in that one it's his back, and then his back actually has got like a design of the.
Oh, nuts.
If you have a look at your figure, it's weird.
Okay.
But in the Japanese one, the windows are actually like fake glass windows as opposed to stickers.
Ah, okay, yeah. Oh no, nuts. I'll have a look at that.
So what am I going to pick next? Okay, I'm going to pick. I don't think you were into these, but these.
I hated these.
This was like the last of the things I got into before I became like a teenager. Before like music and video games and girls and booze took over.
Boobs.
I was going to say booze, not boobs. But yeah, so like obviously I don't have as fond memories of Power Rangers as I do like He-Man or Transformers or Ghostbusters or Turtles, but I love these figures.
Oh, do you know what? Looking at that, it is really cool. But I'll tell you what put me off the Power Rangers. Do you remember what time it was on? It's like 7 or half 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
And like at that age, I can't remember how old I was. I was like, I'm not getting out of bed. I couldn't wake up. I was too tired.
But, it was based on like it was called Super Sentai or something like that. It's a Japanese show. And it was actually the 17th series that Power Rangers is based on. And so Saban just bought all the footage of the fighting, and
I think that's absolutely genius.
And just created their own stories with the teenagers, and then that's why the Yellow Ranger's got no boobs and stuff, is because she was a man in the Japanese one.
Well, I never.
There you go.
So let me get this right. All the stuff where they're talking and they're like the American guys.
Yeah,
that's actually been shot, and then the other footage.
Yeah, so really, the only time you saw the teenagers as Power Rangers was when they just took off their helmets, or
it wasn't it?
So there may be a few shots here or there just for consistency reasons, but most of the time it wasn't them in the suits.
That's nuts, man.
So, but yeah, I remember getting it. So this was like a monumental figure because this was like the end of an era.
Yes, the end of your childhood.
Yeah,
man.
and then beginning of. And then the childhood just carried on.
Yeah, you hit 30 and that's it then.
You revert back. You long for those
Want to go
days.
back to the womb.
Yeah. What's your next?
My next one, excuse me. I'm going to say Mad Balls.
Mad Balls. Are those the things that you pop?
So they basically popped off. They were basically rubber balls with different faces, very similar to the Garbage Pail Kids. I don't own any anymore, but I had all of them. You had like
did they have bodies and stuff?
Yeah, you had like a body, but it was more about the head. It was like you'd have a mummy. You'd have like there was one that was a baseball.
Because you could buy just the heads from like squidges.
Yes, yeah. And I just used to love those. Also along that route as well, boglins.
Over here, I'm a boglin. Me and my buddies need a place to hide out. Come a little closer. Oh, did I scare you? Oh, I do that so well. If you take us home, we'll kiss your Aunt Martha.
Oh, they were cool.
They're fucking ace, man.
Do you know what's surprising? I thought all of those would have deteriorated by now, but I've seen some recently and they're still
look alright,
rocking.
don't they, man? Which still look alright. I just love anything that's got snot dripping off its nose, like myself.
You need to get, was it No Zone from Toxic Crusade?
Yes, yeah.
So, right, what else we got? I'm going to go for my last one.
The last one.
Well, this is a twofer. So, again, because we were just picking originally we're going to pick our favourite just individual figures. But I'm guessing obviously Ninja Turtles is...
So I'm going to bring out...
top trumps. So this is my original as a kid. I span him around on the floor and he lost his bandana. Yeah, I remember when my mum met me after school with this and it was like the best day ever.
Man.
Oh, good catch.
Thank you.
I mean, we've done a whole episode on these, so I mean, there's no.
We don't need to go into them again, but look.
And then, this is probably still one of my all-time favourite figures.
Yeah.
Because the Mirage Turtles for me are probably still my favourite. The original.
And I've just recently I was bought some by my lovely father-in-law and mother-in-law, and really appreciative of that. Lovely. Thank you, guys.
We'll see them soon.
You'll see them soon.
Yeah. So this is the NECA one. And just a fantastic figure, loads of articulation, but the joints are really well developed into the figure, so they don't look. Because you know, a lot of figures sometimes the joints can kind of be a detriment to the figures because it looks too. You can see the joints too much, whereas they're really well designed and hidden on them. It could be because they're all green, so they kind of just blend into each other. But I think they look great.
They're amazing, aren't they, man? I mean, yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head when you pulled this one out, because it's Raph, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's from our favourite show and
The best turtle.
old emo Raph. But
damn.
I mean, like we said, we were going to do our top 10 toys when we did this episode, but I think just having a chat and pulling out some of my old ones, like I've forgotten about some of the ones that I loved. Like, I mean, I didn't remember like the Rock Lords, or I mean, there's so many things that we used to play with that, like, I think going to toy fairs and everything, we're going to stumble upon that we're going to talk about.
Like Mask. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And then I was so tempted to buy some of those the other day.
Yeah, I could see, yeah. I mean, Mighty Max as well.
Oh, yeah.
I've still got a load of Mighty Max.
Oh, you got Lino down there as well.
I forgot about this guy. But this is my original Lino, and as you can see, he's been scratched.
He's got rabies.
He's
cat
rabid.
flu.
I think he's given me the cat flu.
He's still got his... I wonder if you put the thing in his back, if his eyes would still light up.
He can still toss off geezers.
Come here, Predator.
And then, like, I wasn't into Biker Mice from Mars.
No, I had Vinny though.
I had this. Is this Vinny?
That's Vinny. His metal arm.
So, I found him in my...
Vinny, Throttle and Modo.
Ah, nuts. But yeah, so I found him and I thought I'd just get him out to show
They need to bring back, like, these actions. So you can do two at a time.
He just rips cocks off.
Cock Ripper Jack Slater.
Yeah, Cock Ripper Jack Slater.
See, the one toy that I wanted to bring with me, but I don't own it anymore, and it's not actually a toy, it's like a costume piece, and that is...
I'm going to put a gimp mask over.
No, it's the Proton Pack.
Oh,
and
God.
I stupidly sold it as a kid at a jumble sale. And
Oh,
I regret... Even the moment I exchanged, like, probably the £2.50 I sold it for.
Yeah.
I regretted it.
I bet you're regretting it now. You're looking at the prices of them as well. Because I know you're after one of them, and like when we go to the toy fairs, I think we've seen a few, but they're never complete, are they?
No, they're always missing like either the armband or a card or something like that.
Yeah.
Right then, I suppose that does it for today, and we'll see you next time. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and Instagram.
Is it like on Facebook? So like on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram.
Not in real life.
Don't follow us in real life. And until next time,
yeah,
we've been old enough to know better.